Hello, I'm State Senator Wayne Schmidt, and welcome to the Capitol Report. I'm joined today by my good friend Mark Ribel of H, Cox Son. He's the president, and he also sits on the Michigan Beer and Wine Wholesalers Association. And you're down in Lansing today. I appreciate you coming in. If you would, tell us a little bit about the family business and beer and wine sales here in northern Michigan.
Well, H. Cox Son, we've been around since 1933. My brother and I are fifth generation family owners of the business. When my great-great-great-grandfather Herman Cox opened the business out of a pole barn on the back of his house on 8th Street. So, obviously Traverse City's grown quite a bit since the early 30s, is what I've been told. So it's kind of an interesting business, but it's you don't hear too many family businesses that have been around 80 plus years in the Traverse City area.
So this is your 82nd year. Next year will be 83rd.
Mm-hmm.
Started over on 8th Street. Where are you currently at? I know your dad was involved in the business. Your brother Ryan is very active. The two of you are essentially running it now. How many people? You started at a pole barn over on 8th Street with your great-great-grandfather. What are you up to today? How many employees and what do you have?
Yeah, we're located out in Blair Township, right by Chum's Corners, and we have about 70 employees that we have working for us, and we've started out and put on probably in approximately 1975 is when we built out in that area, and we put on 8 to 9 additions since that, based on our growth and the growth of our business and the growth of Traverse City.
What's the latest addition that you've just done? I've been out to your to the plant there, the physical plant. What's the latest addition that you've done?
We put on an expansion to our coolers, our refrigerated storage area for our craft beer and our draft beer as well. So we added, roughly about another 17,000 square feet in refrigeration to the back of our warehouse.
That's a pretty big commitment, especially, and that was geared because of local and Michigan craft beers and local wines specifically, correct?
It has. With the explosion of the craft beer industry, specifically Michigan craft beers, and local wineries, we've adapted to the marketplace, and in doing so, we brought along a lot of new beer and wine suppliers, and got to find more space for them in our warehouse. So we've almost doubled the number of packages in beer over the past 5 years. So that tells you how fast the craft beer industry has grown. That
is. We're talking a little bit about Michigan craft beers, local wines. That segment of the business is really growing. Little background for our viewers, and we'll get back to Michigan-made products. A little bit about the three-tier system. I know we're jumping here, but can you give a little history about three-tier? A lot of people read about it, they hear about it, they're not quite sure what it is. Could you explain, please?
Sure. The three-tier system, it's a very unique system that came basically in fruition after Prohibition, and a lot of the illegal dealings that have happened Prohibition era. But basically there's 3 tiers. There's a brewer or winery. That is the first tier. The second tier would be us, H. Cox Son, the distributor in each one of the markets. And then the third tier would be either the supermarket, the Meijers of the world, the Walmarts, the restaurants and bars out there, as well as the gas stations is the third tier. So there's 3 tiers, and based on franchise law in Michigan, no one tier can own anything in the other tier. And what that prevents is one tier influencing another tier to make decisions not based on what's best for their business, but what's best for their business from a selfish standpoint.
Right.
So it prevents black market activity.
Also, when that third tier, when you're talking about restaurants, convenience stores, supermarkets, there's an interesting component about this, and maybe I'd like you to highlight on it. Makes it a level playing field, and that third. Can you expand on that a little bit, please?
Yeah. What having a 3-tier system, what it does, it levels the playing field for small brewers. obviously small brewers from the state of Michigan and outside of the state of Michigan, and also smaller retailers that own local party stores. For example, like a beverage company in Traverse City or Westside Beverage in Traverse City. Basically, what Meyer buys the product from us is the exact same price that a small party store would buy that product from us. So it gives smaller retailers a chance to compete with the larger retailers from a price standpoint. They're not at a disadvantage, so it gives them the shot to compete and grow their businesses.
It makes it more convenient for the consumer too, because sometimes you're shopping at Tom's, sometimes you're shopping at Olson's, you could be shopping at Family Fare, Myers, as you said, going down to Westside Beverage. I'm thinking, and we're talking Traverse City here, but that's true all along the 37th Senate District, whether you're talking Petoskey, Harbor Springs, Sault Ste. Marie, St. Ignace. That makes it, it offers a lot of convenience and competition for the consumer.
Absolutely,
So,
yeah. And it also brings access to market for small craft breweries and wineries. When there's 3 tiers and there's a wholesaler involved versus a brewery owning the second tier, if it was a Anheuser-Busch or a Miller Coors going right to market, access for small breweries to get their product in small party stores would be a lot more limited.
so it prevents the bigger companies from dominating the market.
Yeah. And you look, you go into a grocery store and look at the number of ketchup brands that you see on a shelf, or milk brands, and how many different ones there are. And there might be 3 or 4. You go over to the beer category and look at how many different breweries are represented.
A lot more than there used to
You'll
be
have
now, all of a
easily
sudden.
over 100. So that's kind of the benefit of the 3-tier system.
It's beneficial. I'm sure your drivers are absolutely loving it when they're trying to stock shelves and everything.
The business
so.
is not as simple as it used to be.
Yeah.
We'll keep it at that.
Great. Well, we'll return again with my guest, Mark Ribel of H, Cox Son, here in just a few minutes on the Capitol Report.
Opening presents can be fun, but are more toys really what your child needs? Instead, you can give a gift for your child's or grandchild's future. Start a college savings account with the Michigan Education Savings Program. It's something they'll use and appreciate for a lifetime. The Michigan Education Savings Program. Start your child's future today. Learn how at misaves.com.
Hi, I'm State Senator Wayne Schmidt, and welcome back to the Capitol Report. I'm joined by my good friend Mark Ribel of H. Cox Son, a beer and wine distributor in the Traverse City and northern Michigan area. Great to have you on.
Thank you.
We were talking about the 3-tier system, and we talked about how it makes it a level playing field for customers, for retailers, and also for wineries and craft breweries. And we've had a lot of them here in northwestern lower Michigan and throughout Michigan. What do you see the trend, especially in the area that H. Cox Son services?
Tremendous growth from Michigan craft breweries. I know over the past 5 years we've been up over 100 and some percent on our Michigan craft brewery sales over the past 5 years. I know in the state of Michigan in 2014, Michigan craft brewers were up over 40% alone this past year. So
wow.
It's phenomenal growth for the state of Michigan and for us too.
You're a small brewery, you're starting out, and there's several of them, and I'm sure you can name them. What does a beer and wine wholesaler, a distributor like H. Cox Son, offer someone who, let's say, they understand they can make a great beer or a great wine, but it's not just that simple as, great, you have a great product, how do you get it to market? And that's where you can come in.
That's where we come in. We run 16 trucks every single day, semi-trucks. We have a sales staff of over 25, and we have the relationships with the bars and restaurants and party stores and grocery stores, in the same stores we've been calling on for a really long time. So what we offer the small breweries is a place to get to market. You have an automatic sales staff built in without having to hire anyone.
That's expensive. You've got people you have to hire.
Sure, your capital expenditures for vehicles as well gets quite expensive. And
I've seen some of those trucks.
Sure.
And we were talking, just a side note, road funding. You've got more fuel-efficient trucks. Your fleet is newer and better than ever. Darn roads keep blowing out tires. That's an expense.
Sure.
But that would be an expense for a small brewery.
Absolutely.
To try to maintain a fleet, something you have a lot more expertise in.
Yep. So we enable them to get to market in a very fast way. We cover all 550 accounts that we call on. We cover them all in 1 week, so we can get to product real fast.
What are some of the craft breweries that you've seen throughout the service area? How many counties do you service specifically?
We service 7 counties: Grand Traverse, Leelanau, Kalkaska, Wexford, Missaukee, Benzie, and Antrim County. So we have been calling the same counties for the last 82 years. So we're very familiar with them. So we bring that service for the craft brewers, kind of a built-in service, and save them the expensive.
Just who are some of the fastest risers that you've seen that in the past 5 years? Just phenomenal numbers.
Yeah, Bell's Brewery.
Okay.
Out of
Michigan.
Kalamazoo, Michigan. They've been on fire. They kind of started the whole Michigan craft brewing thing, and everyone's kind of followed from Larry Bell.
Right.
And their growth has been tremendous. We have not had a negative year with Bell's Brewing Company ever in our history. So since he came to market. And then we also represent a lot of local craft beer as well that's doing fantastic with us, especially with the local craft movement. Everyone wants to eat, drink, taste local as you can get. So the Right Brain Brewing Company, Terra Firma Brewing Company, and Storm Cloud out of Frankfurt have all been great additions to our
Yeah,
portfolio.
good places. I know Russ Springsteen there at Right Brain. Know him quite well. And so we're seeing that. And so those smaller breweries, they can concentrate on making their product. You can go to their brew pub, enjoy it. But then when you want to pick some up at that party store, at the grocery store, that's what you offer, so that people, visitors too, they've enjoyed it, that they can get it anywhere that they are in northwestern Michigan there, around West and East Grand Traverse Bay.
You got it.
We've seen that explosion in craft breweries, in the wineries. How has summer been? Did you have a good summer?
It was a good summer. We started a little slow in June. Weather was a little tough in June for us.
Weather is a key factor, isn't it?
It
in
absolutely
sales.
is, especially in a tourist market. But July and August were great, and September's shaping up to be a fantastic month as well. So, weather always helps, and we've been pretty fortunate this summer, especially on the weekends, to have nice, warm, sunny days. So it's been a very good year, and fall is shaping up really good as we just enter it.
Last question. Industry as a whole in the state of Michigan. We're very tourist-oriented in northern Michigan and the eastern Upper Peninsula. But what does the association, what do you see as a business person for the economy in the next 5 years, specifically in terms of beer and wine?
I see continued growth. There's more and more breweries opening up because of the trend of Michigan craft brewers and craft brewing as a whole in the United States. And it's been very rapid growth, so we'll see probably a little bit of a shakeout in that industry. Probably those who make the best beer will still be around, but I still see room for breweries to continue and wineries still opening up in our Traverse City market. So I see it's.
So you're seeing growth the next 5 years. Your business and as the association as a whole is bullish on the next 5 years in
Absolutely.
Michigan. Great. Mark, thank you for being on the Capitol Report. I appreciate it. And look forward to talking with you again on the next Capitol Report. I'm State Senator Wayne Schmidt. Please feel free to call my office if you have any questions, and look forward to hearing from you. And as again, we'll see you at the next Capitol Report.